Welcome to another Saturday night and taking it to the nub. And as always, I'm looking for some interesting personalities all the time. And about a month or so ago, a lot of our good friend here, Bill White, got me introduced to our guest, Chantel Levitt. And we're going to bring Chantel on in just a moment. But before we do that, let us get some advertising out of the way so we can kick off the show. This episode of Taking It to the Nub is sponsored by the Box Press Cigar app, the ultimate cigar smoking experience. With Box Press, you can easily catalog cigars with your own virtual humidor, quickly rate and record notes for any cigar using the Smoke Session feature, receive intelligent cigar recommendations based on your personal taste profile, and access exclusive discounts from top cigar brands. You can even shop your favorite cigars directly in the app, then automatically sync the order to your virtual humidor, plus so much more. Download Box Press today by typing bxpr.sd/install into any web browser and discover the world of cigars like never before. That's bxpr.sd/install. And today's show is brought to you by All Saints Cigars, a company founded in 2019 and headed up by industry veteran Mickey Pegg and his two friends, Martin Corboy, a successful restaurateur, and Frank Leo, an Air Force Academy graduate military veteran. As Mickey explains it, they were all sitting down, talking and smoking cigars, and finally they decided that they would do this thing together. It was time. Mickey said, "I decided if I'm going to work hard at it, it should be something I love. Besides, a tough day with a cigar is better than a great day doing anything else." Soon after, they began the process of launching All Saints Cigars, jokingly referring to themselves as the Holy Trinity: St. Michael, St. Martin, and St. Francis. They chose for their logo the cross of St. James, the patron saint of Nicaragua, the country where their cigars would be produced. You can check out All Saints Cigars at www.allsaintscigars.com. All right. Yeah, let's get the show rolling. Thank you to Box Pressed and All Saints Cigars for their sponsorship. Welcome, Bill and Chantel.
Hey, Jimmy.
I have to tell you something. I love that All Saints, like their brand, how they've done it. That's fabulous.
They got good cigars too. But when we're talking good cigars, so I didn't know which one to smoke because I haven't touched any of it yet. They were waiting in my humidor. So which one should I smoke? You tell me. I go across the map, but I don't think I want a Connecticut right now.
Okay, so you know what, William? I think I know what I'm going to say. Well, so the Jack is the one that is we just released it.
Right.
Okay, that's a sugar tip. However, I think you should do that later. William, what do you think? See if we're on the same page. Are we mind reading?
I don't know, but I was going to be doing the flush tonight.
And I was going to suggest the Queen for you.
The Queen?
Jimmy. Mm-hmm.
Oh, the barber pole. Barber pole.
Yeah.
All right.
The King is like a really, unless you want something that's really strong and you're ready to roll with that, then go with the King. But I think the Queen is such a mixture of everything.
So let's look at that one there.
Okay. Yes. Love, love, love.
A little bit of toothiness on these wrappers.
It does. Yes.
That's very nice.
It does. Yeah.
So, well, I'm getting ready to fire this up. Chantel, I know very little about you other than what I maybe spoke to Bill about and what we watched yesterday when you introduced your website, and we'll get into that in a little while. But I do know that you were in fashion, merchandising, and marketing. Interesting. That's what my wife went to college for many, 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 many moons ago at Pratt Institute in New York, where I met her, doing fashion merchandising.
How cool is that? Okay.
And you went to St. Dominic's.
Yeah.
And that's my son's name is Dominic. So I
Okay.
feel this connection here already, which is
That
pretty
is so
cool.
cool.
All right.
And are you in Boston? You
No,
are in
actually,
Boston.
I'm in Florida. I'm right across
Uh-oh.
from I-4
It
to
froze, doll.
528. I'm right in Melbourne, Florida.
Why are the technical difficulties, huh, William? I think we've been
I
cursed.
I'm in Melbourne, Florida.
So, Jimmy, you actually froze, so we heard
Yeah.
nothing.
Okay. So
Sorry.
I'm in Melbourne, Florida.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you from Boston?
Uh no, I spent 3 years of a good part of my life there from 21 to 24 years old. So my soul was kind of rejuvenated in Boston right out of college. And
And
I
you know
said,
what is and when you said Boston, you went in Boston.
it's
Like I
Boston.
got that. So I'm
Boston.
originally from Maine, way originally.
Ah,
Yes. So I love northern people.
yeah, I love it. Yeah, I can see you don't have like blonde hair. 'Cause when I first moved down here, I mean, up there, up in the Northeast, everybody's got brunettes, browns, maybe some dark redheads, some,
Yes.
no, but you don't see the blonde, a lot of blonde hair. I came down here and it's like all these blondes, and I was like, I'm really kind of attracted more to the brunette. I always said because that's what I was used to. Everybody going gaga over blondes. I'm like, I don't know. Seems like everybody dyed their roots.
Okay, well, you know what? Guess what? While going to fashion school in California, which is where I went, I tried to dye my hair and
Horrible
I used,
experience, right?
peroxide sorts of things, whatever it was. And I looked like dark skin and blonde hair. I mean, it was atrocious, but I thought, I just want to be that California girl, right? Wasn't happening ever for me.
So
Highlights maybe.
where did the dark skin come from if you lived in Maine?
So my
I
lineage,
mean,
of course, my mother is French,
okay, so is mine.
primarily. My father, oh, my mother's French and Native American Indian.
Ah,
Um,
that's where the colors come.
yes, and my father is Italian, just a tiny Swiss, so I never usually say it, and a Russian Jew.
Oh,
So a lot. I'm like the
so
United Nations.
it's kind of like I'm kind of fitting that mold. Yeah, my mother's family's
It's the only way
French.
to be, right?
My
Just a
mother's
little
family
different.
is the French side, and they were the first. Actually, they were the first French Huguenots to land in America and settle. They in the 1600s and went up and settled the Hudson Valley in New York.
No kidding.
Yeah, that's a whole nother story for another show. But
Yeah,
yeah,
well, no, that's a story for you and I to have a cocktail
yeah,
over because you're in Florida and talk about,
exactly.
right?
So,
All
so
right.
you go from fashion merchandising and running websites. I guess you had some COVID things going on along the way,
Yeah.
but somehow in the middle of this, cigars came into the picture. Now, um, did you smoke cigars before? Did you have family members that smoked them?
So my father was a champion professional poker player eventually. That's not obviously how he started. We were in a small town called Lewiston, Auburn, Maine. It's like a twin city. And my father was from New York, New Rochelle, New York. And he had this dream to be a poker player. So, but he smoked sticks and we would have poker games in my basement. As a child, I know the nuns, if anyone was watching, they would fall over. And my they'd be sometimes 2 days, poker games, and they'd be down there smoking sticks. It was a finished basement and they were in one bedroom, which is really large. My mother would make pancakes in the morning. I deliver them. I was thrilled, right? I know it's not traditional, but for me, especially when I look back, there wasn't a negative there for me. I enjoyed it. So he went on to do great things, and he always smoked sticks. And I just, I don't know. I had this thing. I really liked them. So back in like the 90s, when I was in Chicago for about 4 years, I got into the whole cigar aficionado jam, next level. And back then, you could even smoke cigarettes in a
Oh, back in
restaurant
the
and cigars,
90s?
right? And I'm with all the
Yeah, sat at
Italians,
Chili's smoking cigars at the
correct.
bar.
Yeah. And you know what? There's at least a handful of mafia in there while you're in there. So everyone's having a great time. My mother was mortified, but anyway, when she saw a photograph, she was like, "Please, Chantal, don't do this." So I got very involved, and then whatever, it went away. Life goes on,
Yeah.
whatnot. But that's, I've always had this passion, about it. There's something that's always like been there with me, just like fashion. And my father passed away, gosh, I think it's going to be 33 years this year.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, so, but it's like an ode to him. Okay. He had some tragedy in his life, and I want his memory to be of greatness, not of a blurb in his life that happened not by his own accord, right? So it's yeah, it's really important to me because of my father.
Okay. Very, very good. So this is a very much a tribute to him.
Uh-huh.
And I could see with the names of the cigars, they were
Yes.
all related to at least playing cards, and also
Poker.
a little bit of poker there with the flush.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Is there a straight that I missed?
Nope.
But
So
I could put
what
together the royal and the flush and make a royal flush, right?
you can, and you can put together what? The ace, the king, the queen, and the jack.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
we
that
don't
doesn't, you need a
cor-
10.
correct. Yes, we do. So we just added that jack. So I don't know why I even the flush. I don't know. The royal, the flush. I came to my head, right? Knew I was going to need the jack, and I see two more in our future. Um, Definitely there will be a 10. It will be a 10, and there will be a wild card of some sort, a joker, wild card, whatever. And that's something, William and I will discuss and develop in the
Just put
future for sure.
William's face on it.
Yeah.
William,
Then
William.
we really have to call it the Joker. Mhm.
It'll be the Joker. There you go.
That's it.
Williams, so far you're a perfect 10 to me.
I love it. So then how did, I've known William for a few years now.
Mhm.
How did you and William connect? How did this relationship come together where
On
he's supporting you?
Just on social media. So sorry, you guys, I'm having allergy issues here. Um, just on social media, what's interesting when I started, Jimmy, in this whole foray of going into the cigar industry, I didn't know. I knew donut holes of what to do, where to go, what do you do, right? I didn't even know the hashtag. Okay, now I reached my 30 max. And in fact, and it goes, you've overreached. I go, what do you mean? I already deleted one and just added another. Your calculations are right. So I went on Instagram. The first community that welcomed me, which is so interesting, was the bearded community. More so even than the cigar community,
Hmm.
right? Because I'm new. I don't know anyone. So, and then Ice and Sticks, James with Ice and Sticks was one of my first people that he's in the bearded community, but he's also a huge cigar aficionado. He reached out to me, and then, but love him to death. He helped me get to know other people. And along the way, William was one of the people with Ash to Ash podcast, right? And he had seen things. And then, we just maintained contact. I'd be on a herp, whatever with him. And we just started talking because he's a good human being, just like myself. And so you had that common denominator. And he said, Chantel, you know, I'd really like to do something. And he had some ideas and brought so much to the table of knowledge and everything. And I love William as a family member. You know what I mean? He is Bello Dama Cigar family member now. And we just were so blessed to find each other.
Well, that is a good marriage made of the leaf,
Hmm.
because I could see where he's helping to take you. Now, he advised you on the cigars, or were you getting the advice from a factory and then William got involved afterwards?
No, he got involved afterwards, but he came to me because to discuss some sort of a loyalty program. So he believes, not he, William, hi doll, you believe in Belladonna cigars. He knows the product. He believes in me. He believes in my dedication. He knows I'm putting out an amazing quality product, and he's willing to put his stamp on it. And that says a lot. William's been very into this cigar community since 2016, and like, head deep. Started maybe knee deep. Well, now with me, he's way over his head, but you know what I mean? So no, and he believed, and he had so many great ideas. And we started out very slow. It's almost like a relationship, right? You start out slow.
Oh.
You're both cautious. You've got, some mutual, like, common thought processes and whatnot. And this players club was born. And
All
I
right,
was
so we're going to have to get
yeah.
into that players
Oh,
club in a second.
good God. Yeah.
I guess, before we move into the website and everything, let's
Mhm.
also break down some of the cigars that we have. Now, I do understand that you have a factory in St. Petersburg or Florida that you're working with. You weren't divulging the name yesterday, so
I can't. No, it's in the
okay.
US though.
It's in the
Boutique cigar
US.
factory. It is not, some ginormous
Mhm.
factory by any means, but it
So
is in
these
the
are
US.
all
Yes.
handmade, hand rolled
Yes.
here in the
Uh-huh.
United States. Okay, make sure
Mhm.
everybody understands that. And then obviously they source the different leaves. And when you went through the process of creating these, without having somebody like Bill on your side at that moment, how did you sit back and say what you liked and what you didn't like? I mean, or what the world would like?
So first, I had no clue in the beginning. None. Zero. I hadn't been in the cigar industry since the 90s, mid 90s. I didn't have a clue. Zero. So a friend of mine who's an attorney in Manhattan is really genuinely probably one of the best cigar aficionados I've ever met in my life. And he took this journey with me in the beginning to come up with some blends. We originally had a roller. He became unreliable. I was very concerned about having inventory and products and all that stuff in the beginning, because you can't change it. Like Coca-Cola, okay, Coke came out, you can't change Coke's formula. So, that's my backbone. So I totally got rid of that, which was like 6 months of my life and his life. And then when I finally did find this one after another factory, he helped me pick the first three. So with his tutelage, I learned a lot. So after the first three, which was the King, the Flush, and the Royal.
This is the
Yeah.
King, the
Yeah.
Flush,
Mhm. Yep. And
that,
the Royal.
and the Royal is that.
Mm-hmm.
And the King and the Royal, different wrappers. They're all three different wrappers.
Yes, for sure. So at that point, so I had this bold Nicaraguan Habano seed King. Then I had your Flush, which was the most mild mellow smoke Connecticut shade, right? And then I had the Royal, which was a Cameroon Maduro, which I thought was pretty fabulous to bring that on board.
So this Royal
Is the Cameroon Maduro wrapper. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. It did. A lot of people don't have Cameroon Maduro. A lot of Maduros. I have a lot of Maduros,
now,
but
is this
a lot of
a
people don't have that
African
one.
Cameroon, or is this like a Nicaraguan? Is this grown outside of Africa? Do you know?
No, it's not. Not grown outside. Someone else asked me that. Nope, not grown outside. It's actually that one is Nicaraguan. That is not.
Okay.
That is a Nicaraguan. Yes.
Yeah. This is
So
very oily, and it's got a lot of marbling running through it. I mean, looks like I mean,
it
I'll
is
tell you
so
what, with the
good.
cellophane on it, it wasn't doing it justice till you take it
Yes.
out and then you
So
look at it.
yeah, at one point I actually went with no cellophane, right? Changing all these things as I'm going along and learning, because I had no one to teach me other than those first three sticks. Everything else I learned, packaging, I mean, everything. So then I go, oh, I'm just going to do them naked. But the more you touch them, the oils from your hands and all those sorts of
Sure.
things, it was better with cellophane. So
Yeah, it protects the cigars.
I've
And
tried it all.
other-
Yeah.
So then you
So
get done
then,
with that. Then we have,
then I go to the Queen. So that's one I chose
look at the ash
completely
on
on
that.
my own.
Look at
Yes.
the ash.
Thank you. I chose that one by myself entirely. I didn't even send them out. Now you have to understand, I've sent some out to William. I've sent some out to Ice and Sticks, James. I've sent some out to his brother Austin. You know what I mean? To try and come up with the Jack. And then we shelved all of them. William said the same. Nothing was great, right? But I came up with that, and that has been a huge hit. I'm actually so very proud of myself that I learned enough to do that. And then we came out with the Ace, and I love the shape of the Ace. And don't
Yeah,
let the
the
dark
ace.
wrapper fool you.
The ace is, yeah, never let, I tell that people
No.
all the time, never
Mm-mm.
look at
Nope.
wrappers and say, oh my
Mm.
God, that's such a dark wrapper and it's gonna kill me.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-mm.
not. It depends on what's in it. Not all, darker
Yes.
can be sweeter and more mild than you can imagine.
And that is, so that one is, I mean, so delish. And the irony is when I sent it to James and his brother, I blinded it, right? We just did numbers on
Right.
six. We all picked the same exact one. There wasn't even, and I sent them 5 or 6. So, and again, I did it again another time when we came up with 0 out of like 6. You know what I mean? So then I knew, so we have the Ace, right? Okay, we're good. Everything's great. Whatever. So with this Jack, you know, I'm often approached at events, especially public events. Do you have anything with some sweet or flavored? I'm probably never going to go flavored,
Right.
but I knew I needed something. However, and I said it last night, and I'm being repetitive, but I didn't want something sicky sweet, but I wanted it to have something sweet. And William can attest to this. This is just the right amount of sweetness. And the weird part is, you know, when you have an aftertaste with sticks, I mean, you
Yeah.
do, right? And sometimes it's not great. I'm admitting it. Okay. This Jack, you don't have an aftertaste. You do not have a lingering bad taste in your mouth. And I've now smoked like 4 or 5 of them. Smoking it again tonight, except for I've let it go so long that now it's a mess.
This one, I think you said yesterday, if I remember listening to your show, you said it was a sweet tip.
Yes,
So
it
this
is.
is kind of
Sugar tip,
Cuban style sweet tip cigar.
yes. Yeah, and that one is an Ecuadorian Maduro wrapper and with a Dominican. But so a lot of my other ones have some like Prelo Seco, you know, all sorts of the Criollo 98. This one is just very Dominican. Boom, boom. There's no other added extra stuff. And we've got that wrapper, that's a beautiful wrapper, sugar tipped. It's on point. Love it. So again, that's another one. I'm hoping, I know will become popular amongst our clientele and other people in the future for sure. You know, what do you think about it, William?
I enjoyed it.
Right?
We had that time where you sent me all these cigars and these baggies with just numbers on them, and I was smoking like crazy. And we'd scrap it and we'd go to the next one. She'd send me a whole lot more. We'd smoke those and send me a whole lot more. We'd smoke those. And then we finally got to a point where we said, okay, I think we've got it. You agree. I agree. This one agrees. So we had 3 out of 3. Let's go ahead and do it.
Yes. So William did receive the Jack prior to. Before I picked, I had already picked it, but I wanted him to like reinforce it.
Right.
And he did. So I had his backing on that. And that's before we were even talking about full on working together.
Well, that was an awesome introduction to your blend, your company. This is something that you're doing a full-time thing on? Are you doing this? So this is your job. This is it.
Yes, it is my job. So, you know, I think, so what happened, of course, we all as an entrepreneur go through trials, tribulations, pivoting. I was starting during
Never
COVID, all those
stop.
sorts of things.
Never
Never, right?
stops. Been doing this for
There's
10
always
years. It never stops. with
there's
things.
always some shtick, right? There's some shtick that comes along that decides to like slap you upside the head and say, you ain't so bad, right? Bad meaning great. So my mom got very sick.
Wow.
With no. This is I'm just laying it out there because a lot of people don't know. So she got very sick, but it was in a different way. And then all of a sudden, she got crazy sick and was given less than 6 months and passed away in 5 weeks. But I had to take care of my mom, or not take her in the end, yes, but focus on my mother. Okay. And so I lost, like, I was in Cigar Journal magazine in December. Thanks, George. George did such a great article, but I couldn't
Love
even
George.
capitalize, right? Oh my God, right? Isn't he a doll? He did such an incredible writing piece. I appreciated him so much. He really captured the essence of Dama Cigars. Great writer. And so I couldn't even capitalize because that's when things were starting to get very serious with my mom. And at the end of the day, when you stop being relevant, you stop being relevant. And I think a lot of people probably, and I can't speak for a lot of people, but I'm assuming that people thought I was just coasting, right? And I was for a time frame. But then when William and I started to work together, we've busted our asses for a little bit now, solid 6 weeks. And we're talking every single day, boop, 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 boop. I mean, we just said, let's go, let's go, let's go. Because I have to come out like a phoenix out of the ashes, because you know what I mean? That's not who I was, but a lot of people didn't know my mother passed away. They're not supposed to figure it out. I posted it, but please, another day, another event, another day, another dollar. So it was very important for me to come out with if I'm going to go big or go home. So that's where we are now. And I'm not stopping anytime in the near future, by the grace of God.
Very good. All right. We're going to take a short break on this one. This is a 4-minute break to finish the second round of advertising. And when we come back, we're going to dig into your website, and we're going to dig into what you were talking about yesterday, but I'm going to start showing it online live. So we'll go through some of this, and you can really get people into this very cool concept you have. And today's show is brought to you by Casa Cuevas Cigars. In the 19th century, Juan Cuevas, Spanish immigrant from Santander, began what was to be a family business which now spans 4 generations. Like others fortunate enough to live and work in Pinar del Rio province of Cuba, Juan commenced cultivating tobacco, turning it into a successful business. Following in his father's footsteps, his son Juan Jr. continued with the family business, successfully expanding it until events which took place in 1959 forced a dramatic change. Years later, in the Ciabo Valley of the Dominican Republic, Luis Cuevas Sr., Juan Jr.'s son, carried on the family tradition of handcrafting fine cigars in the family's cigar factory, Tabacalera Las Lavas. Today, Luis Sr. is joined by his son Luis Jr. in the manufacturing and sale of premium long filler cigars at their factory, Tabacalera Las Lavas in Santiago, Dominican Republic. So check out Casa Cuevas Cigars at www.casacuevascigars.com and on their Instagram and Facebook channels.
Before you light your next cigar, be sure to check out Cigar Medics, the makers of the patent-approved humidimeter. The humidimeter is a tool designed to display the relative humidity inside your cigar. With this device, there's no more guessing. Simply insert the probes into the foot or cap of your cigar, and you can instantly know if your cigar is ready to be smoked. Buy now on cigarmedics.com and see site for other cigar accessories. With the humidimeter, you'll know when to hold them and know when to smoke them.
And today's show is brought to you by Bocock Brothers Cigars, a new and active brand founded by two Honduran brothers, Bryant and Douglas Bocock. The brand zeroes in on those folks that are looking for easy-to-smoke cigars inspired by unusual circumstances. Very importantly named after their very interesting and imitable last name, Bocock. Right now, Bocock Brothers is featuring their signature edition, made at the A.J. Fernandez factory in Esteli, Nicaragua. It features an Ecuadorian Sumatra wrapper, a Nicaraguan Habano binder, and a Nicaraguan filler. Available in 3 popular formats, a Robusto, a Toro, and a Gordo. You can check out Bocock Brothers Cigars at www.bocockbrothers.com. And today's show is brought to you by Platinum Nova Cigars. Platinum Nova is a family-owned and operated premium cigar company. Only the highest vintage tobacco and the most skilled hand workmanship go into the making of each Platinum Nova cigar. This results in a timeless blend of art and craftsmanship. The Nova brand and the family's work are a tribute and an honor to their grandfather to always remember him and his infinite passion for the finest cigars. Their love for cigars started with their grandfather, a dedicated master blender and entrepreneur in the cigar industry. So the next time you're looking for that exquisite cigar experience, pick up a Platinum Nova. You can check them out at Platinum Nova Cigars, www.novacigar.com, and on their Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter channels. All right, let's get back to Chantel and Bill. Whoa. Every time I watch that video, the last one, it reminds me of some of the great female cigar brand owners that we have in this country, and you've just joined that club.
Thank you. Oh,
So have
you
do you
so
get
much.
to talk to some of these other ladies at Leaf that are doing great things?
No, no one.
Need to form a coalition.
Yes, for certain. So when I first came on board, genuinely, I looked it up. Women, female-owned cigar companies. This is back in when I LLC August of 2020, and the only one I could find was Twin Sisters.
Okay, down in Miami.
Correct. Those
They rock. They rock. I've known them.
But there was not one other woman. So when I did my first news show, Fox News came to my house, I genuinely said that I'm aware of. There's no other female cigar company owner. I really genuinely, I put it in there. It didn't come up.
Did you get feedback on that?
No.
People didn't.
You know what?
Really?
Nope. Do you know that? Wow. Well, please. They said no. They said lots of other things that weren't complimentary. So, all of a sudden I saw Drunken Chicken Cigars. I go, okay, well, that's a woman. I know there's a lot of influencers that are women.
This Karen Berger, right?
Of course.
She's big.
Yes.
You got to deal with Fuente.
Yes. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so new. I was so new to the club, right? That I did try to Google so I could actually, shout out or say, yes, I'm one of 10 or I'm one of 25 or whatever it is. That's the only other people I could find was Twin Sisters. So apologies to everyone out there if I misspoke.
Oh no, you know what? This is an industry of constant learning. Okay. And
Mhm.
you will make errors. I err many times, and I've been around
Oh.
cigars for 43 years. So I, I, I still can err on it. Don't ask me to speak any of the Spanish words. My wife laughs at me. My R's don't roll out like L's or L, whatever they. So I
Right?
can't do any of this stuff. Um, I
It's
do know
like
how to
French.
say Lejero. So for those that are out there that are green under the collar, it's
La,
not Ligero, it's Lejero. At least that
la. All right, ready? La Hero.
yeah, there you
Okay, come
go.
on, William. William, let's hear you break it down, brother. Come
Oh,
on.
I'm not going to be rolling any R's tonight.
You better roll an R right now.
Maybe a cigar. I'll roll a cigar, but I'm not rolling an R.
Oh, that's too funny. I was getting ready to say something else, but that's okay. It's a children might
No,
be
you
watching.
know what? Yeah, right. Nope. I was going to say something else as well. But yes, we don't need what is it? It just sometimes I'll
We
go
don't
on
need a
stuff, right?
distraction that big.
No, no, we'll do like viewer discretion advised only because you know what's happened. Jimmy, I've always kind of been one of the guys anyway.
You're gonna say what you want to say in this show. I don't care.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like
You don't want to
I'm
do that.
very
You
no,
know,
right? I
no,
don't. It's on recording.
no. You could.
I've always been very foo-foo. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like the girly girl. But guess what? This girl can break it down. I am into sports. I
Ah,
played several during school. I run around with no makeup most of the time.
there's your
So
ash.
yeah.
Holding
Oh,
it in my hand.
ah,
There's your ash. Does it
that was
fit?
sweet.
Hold on. Oh, it goes all over the place. Okay. I was trying to say I got to put it back. Sometimes I can put them back on. That's
You
always
can for real?
yeah. Sometimes if it's really tight, that one was tight but had just a little pressure
No
cracked it.
gives.
But sometimes I could take it and just stick it right back on and it holds.
What do you think of it so far? I mean,
It's
be honest.
developing.
I want all honest.
It's developing. At first when I smoked it, I felt it was I guess I could basically say it was generic. Okay.
Okay,
At the
that's all
beginning.
right.
And
Yep.
then the flavors started rolling in. Now, keep in mind, everybody, this is a barber pole, so I don't know where it was lighting first. It could have been
Hmm.
this is Connecticut,
Yes,
and yeah,
yes.
so it might have
San
just been
Andreas,
getting
yeah.
some of that, and then
Hmm.
it started developing. So I get some sweetness in it, and then it's I'm not paying as much attention like I do when I smoke it, but it's turning out
Yes.
very nice. The ash has been spectacular. There is even though it's a nice ash, there is a bit of a off burn on it. Okay.
Hmm.
But it doesn't look like it's gonna require a touch up at all.
Hopefully
So
not.
we'll find out
You
as we
know,
go
it's
along.
so hard. People really need to understand too that when they're hand rolled, right? I mean, and it's just you never know. It could be one of those one sticks, and I always
Yeah.
cringe at the thought. I've had two issues so far in the time I've been in business, unless someone else hasn't told me, will certainly reach out. Don't lie.
Mhm.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it's they're hand rolled. These people are sitting there rolling these. Anything can go wrong,
And
you know?
it does. And
Yeah.
that's always a fair point. And even when I tell people when I review cigars, sometimes if I only get one, you get what you get. If I get two,
Mhm.
at least I know if they're both doing the same thing, that's not a hand rolled issue. That's a quality issue.
You know what? You just said something that's so important. You just taught me something that when I now send out anything to anyone like yourself or a review or whatever, I'm going to send double
You
because you
should.
just brought up a very, thank you, brought up a very good point. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because it makes it,
Yes.
because then
Yes.
I can take it and say, hey,
Yes.
statistically maybe it's out. It's just that
Correct.
one bad one.
What a
Now keep
great idea.
you know But you want the feedback from many people on that also,
Yes.
because if they start showing up like that in a box and you don't realize it, and a single box has multiples like that, you need to shop to make sure that they're aware of it, because you got to bring that right back to the factory and look at the quality. Continue
It's
to
so
institute
true.
quality processes along the way and monitor those.
This,
That's
yeah,
the hardest part of this job, is getting the
it is
quality
so
in.
hard. I try to look at when I'm shipping them. They're still in the cellophane, right? I can't pull them out. It's like next level nonsense. But I try to look. I touch them genuinely, right? I try to look at the cap. I try to look at the base. I look if something may be slightly off, in the wrap, and I will save those for
Yeah, those are the
William,
ones that you're going to
myself,
sit back
family
and
members.
smoke. Yeah,
Yes,
smoke the
correct,
rejects. They're still good.
correct, correct. But I do try to look. But sometimes you don't know when you're so busy and stuff. So yeah, it does happen.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
So let's go talk now about this. And let me pull this up for everybody to see. So now we can have some fun.
Oh, this is so cool.
All right. So let us go here. Okay.
Yeah,
So this is their website. So this is
aren't you
Chantel's
fabulous?
website. Okay.
Thank you so much.
BelladamaCigars.com. Okay.
Yes.
I perused through this earlier today. So I know you've got a homepage, you got a cool and about us page. We can go through that in a second. If you
Yeah.
want to shop for things, you could shop for the products right here, the cigars. I guess you could have more products as you go on.
Yeah.
There's some news and events. This is the Cigar Journal article you spoke about.
Yes.
All
Thank
right.
you.
So very
Mhm.
nice. And then there's the Players Club. So let's come back over
Mhm.
here real quick, because we're going to dig into the Players Club in a moment.
Mhm.
So somebody comes in here and they're going to see right away, you're going to push them to shop. Okay. But
Mhm.
if they decide to pass that, you could shop again. So you can get news or you could shop again. So, and you could shop again. So there is absolutely no way you're getting off this page without being asked to shop. I got to show you. And if I go here, I can
Wait,
get
go back over.
hats. I can get cool
Yeah.
bags.
No,
Oh,
actually,
you
we're out of
sold
stock
out of
right now.
hats already?
Yeah. No, so you know what? Jimmy. No, we have way better stuff coming. So yes, the bags and the hats will ultimately the hats won't be obsolete, but the bags will be things we're changing that as well.
Okay.
So I am investing a lot of time and money into really creating a phenomenal experience. All this stuff will be back in stock, you know what I mean, and whatever. I just again trying to deal with my mom, and now we're rebuilding and going forward. So
So,
there'll be certain packages like that for certain.
so what is this very cool thing? So I'm looking at
Isn't that cool?
a humidor here, a
Yes.
cylindrical
Yes.
humidor.
A travel humidor.
How many
And not only that,
cigars does that hold?
I think that takes 10 or 15.
Okay.
I think it's 10. And then you can choose which stick you'd like in the tin, Belladama tin. And then you have a cutter lighter combo. And then you have a whiskey glass with a cigar
Oh, the cigar
holder.
little holder on the
Yes.
side.
But I'm changing those things as well. So
Okay.
again, we're in such a revamp. I found some better things that I'd love to bring to the consumer. Like I'm going to have beautiful whiskey glasses with the stainless steel what do you call them, ice cubes, where you put them in the freezer with tongs. I mean, there'll be some really great stuff coming up again, but I just wanted to leave it up there so people understood that this is where you can come when you want to buy some great gifts. The gift tin is always there.
And then the rest of these are all the different cigar lines that you have.
Correct.
And what's nice is these cigar lines, if you come in here, I think if I just select the Queen, I should be able to see that. I can see the information about it right here, which is very helpful. And then
When someone, it's like, so I've been in fashion retail forever in the retail sector. And when you don't have something that is tangible, can't touch it, you can't smell it, you can't feel it, you can't see it in person, you have to give as much as you can so that someone understands what are they purchasing. And that's what I've tried to do with my little blurb and my little sayings, right? So that someone knows what they're getting. Yes, this is smooth, this is this is this. I do play on words, of course. I enjoy that very much. But you have to have an idea. You can't just say it's okay. You can't just say the wrapper, the binder, and the filler. That's not cutting it. You can't, and the size and whatever. I think you need a little more to let you know what you're buying into for certain.
Yeah,
So
and because we're not
Yeah.
just buying a cigar. We're buying into a brand. We're buying into the people behind the cigar.
Mhm.
It's the brand owner. It's the factory. It's the farmers that are making and cultivating the leaf. It's those rollers. It's that person that puts that triple cap on so perfectly every day of the week, every hour of the day that they're in the shop. It's those ladies that are separating the leaf by color, and
My
it
God.
must blow your
My
mind to
God.
watch them do that. But that's all they do all day long. That's it. That's their job, and they do it great. They're fantastic at it.
And you know what? That's why too, when I have some fails, right? I know that person sat there all day long,
Right.
probably blistered their fingers. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
I mean, and just this is what they've done.
Speak it.
They've
Tell the
rolled
people. You'll
and
see it.
cut whatever all day long. I don't think anyone, thank you so much, because I don't think anyone understands what it takes. And this person sitting there, I'd want to just punch myself. Sitting there, someone has to do it, right? But these people are sitting there doing this day in, and it's like, forget putting boxes together.
30
There also have
years
to
of
be
their
good at their
lives
craft.
sometimes.
Yeah, thank
Right.
you.
Some of these old
Thank you.
folks.
You know what? I want to say cheers to all you cigar rollers out there. Everyone that goes into making a stick a fabulous stick. I mean that. Cheers to that. If anybody's out there going to see this, I'm so grateful.
So now to get more people involved in Dama Cigars, I'm saying, I'm going to come back over here, and now we want to touch on one more part of this website. And I understand this is probably was taking the most time to put together and everything to get this site launched. Your IT world worked night and day to make this happen. You have a rock star dealing with this. This is called the Players Club.
Correct.
So what am I mean, buy-in, what am I being asked about here? Let me walk through the beginning. So explain the Dama Cigars Players Club.
I'm going to let William. I'm going to let. We're players. I'm going to let William. Yeah. Yes, we are indeed. Everybody is a woman, a man, whatever. We're all
going to
players.
put Big Daddy up then. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, Matt Daddy, Big Daddy. I'm going to let William take over on this because this is ultimately going to be. It is. We've developed it together, but this is his baby, and anyone that has any questions or whatever can reach out to William. So I'm going to please let him take the forefront of this one.
So walk me through this, Bill.
Okay.
Tell me
well,
what I'm
first of
supposed
all,
to do.
Let me take you from the beginning. This was actually an idea that I had reached out to Chantel about. As you know, I have been involved in an ambassadors program with another major cigar company. And usually that's your word of mouth. That is your like genuine gold nugget marketing. When you have consumers that love your brand and can, always purchase your brand and will spread the word. So if I like Dama Cigars and you are a friend of mine and you smoke cigars and I'm like, I smoke Dama. And you're like, well, I've never had them before. Well, here, let me give you this one of my cigars, try it. And then next thing you know, you say, hey, that's pretty good. Where can I get them? I move you to that. So therefore, you have a community of the brothers and the sisters of the leaf that enjoy a particular, brand. And they're ambassadors in one form or another. You have the Perdomo Army, you have the McAuliffe ambassadors, you have the Weasels. And these are people that are consumers of a particular brand that enjoy that particular brand and share it with their fellow cigar enthusiasts or smokers and friends. So I went to Chantel, and actually this all started out as just an idea. Hey Chantel, I got an idea for you. What do you think? Little did I know, once I got into the snare, that I was never going to get out. But the whole idea was this.
Whatever, William.
Yeah, she is poker based. So I said, just like the movie Gypsy, you have to have a gimmick. Everybody has to have a gimmick. And I said, okay, I got an idea. You're poker based. So why don't we do, instead of calling ambassadors your followers and your consumers, they are players. And when you play poker, you come to the table, you buy in, you get your hand, and you either fold, you get another card, and then you raise, you call, and it's the whole 9 yards. So I said, why don't we do your program based on the poker themes that you already have? So we turned the slogan, you have the buy-in. And what we figured we'd do is, when you buy in, a lot of places or companies, when you go to them and you become a follower or a loyal person or an ambassador of that brand, there's a lot of groups out there. What do you get? You get a challenge coin. So my idea was, we're not going to do a challenge coin because this is poker. You don't go to a poker player, to a table, and you say to the dealer, I want to buy $100 in challenge coins. No, I want to buy $100 in poker chips. So we turned around and we looked at, okay, let's do poker chips, and then we're going to do this, that, and the other. Well, little did I know, once I did that idea, next thing I know, I'm sourcing out poker chips, and I must have looked at a couple of different poker chips and different designs, and we went back to the drawing board and this, that, and the other. So what we did was we figured, okay, so to join, it would be a buy-in. You would get the pack contains, you get a Belladama cigar poker chip, you get a Belladama cigar patch, you'll get a Belladama certificate.
Going to get it while you talk.
Yeah, and you'll get a playing card. But the buy-in, a lot of times you'll have, consumers, they'll say, hey, I want to belong to this club. And some of them, if you ask them, and I've come across a few individuals in my time, hey, I'm a member of this. Well, how's the cigar? I don't know. I've never smoked them before. So we decided to come up with a deal where when you buy in, part of the buy-in is you'll get 2 sample packs. So you'll get 12 Belladama cigars, 2 of each.
Mm-hmm.
And when it's all said and done, you'll get your discount, and it'll come, I believe we figured it out to be $85 before shipping.
It's actually so what it is. So let me just interject, just because William's been doing all sorts of things. It's customarily $170 for 2 sample packs. I've also adjusted. I shouldn't say I, because William and I discussed it. We've adjusted pricing. Actually lower pricing in some categories, and it's $170 for 2 sample packs. So what we did is we said, okay, we both talked about it, and William, I love you. He was being so conservative. He's like, all right, whatever. But he went with whatever I said. I go, no. This is the first incentivized program of its kind. Why would someone, to me, like, I don't want anybody to do anything for free. So I'm giving you an opportunity, if you haven't tried, to try my sticks, right? And if you have tried them and you'd love to share the love, the word, whatever it is, Belladama, then you will be incentivized. And the incentives are exponential. So we don't put it out there as far as all the incentives once you join. But when you join, you're going to receive 40% off your first order of a sample pack. It ends up being $100. Okay, with shipping, it's $102. With shipping, it's $111 and change.
Right.
So you receive 12 sticks of my stick. You receive the Belladama patch, which, you know, everybody loves patches. And this is a really good quality patch. You receive your, you know, Belladama poker chip. It's the coolest thing. I'm going to send Billy, Jimmy, I'm going to send you one. Just so you have it. You receive a playing card, which we'll talk about in a second. Random
I was
playing
going to
card.
ask you what the playing card's all about,
Yep.
but
That's where we're going next. And then you receive a certificate that just says, you know, we appreciate you. You've shown your interest in the boutique cigar arena, right? Not just me, it's just boutique cigar arena, and especially Belladama cigar. So that's where we go with there. And William can pick up with the whole poker thing that we're trying to do, or not trying, we're doing with this.
Right. So once we got that particular point down, what do we want to give those that want to become a player with the Belladama cigars? And then we went back and forth. So I would, matter of fact, we talked about this last night. I revised the incentive plan 5 or 6 times. I would email the plan that I thought was going to be the final one. He would email it back saying, no, I want this, this, and this. This isn't enough. Give them this, give them that.
I wanted to give more.
Right. So I would send it back. So the whole idea behind this is if you come on board with Belladama Cigars as a player, not only are you going to get all those, you know, the chip, the patch, the certificate, and your 12 initial Belladama cigars, you'll have a chance moving forward to continue the high stakes excitement of Belladama cigars. So what'll happen is, as you order, depending on your order, you will have a random amount of playing cards sent with your order. And at that point in time, you will be able to put your hand together. So let's say you order, you order a amount of order that came to a certain point, you get 4 cards in your order. When you get your 4 cards, if you have enough to have a 4 of a kind or a plus, or you have other cards and you make your hands, those hands can be turned in for credit towards a future order, depending on the hand you have.
so how do you get the card? So you have to spend a certain amount to get the card?
No. So every time you place an order, right?
Right.
So your first order, you receive a card. It's random. When I tell you random, they're shuffled random.
Okay.
So I won't even know. They'll know. So you're going to receive a card in your first order as a players club or player. And then thereafter, so let's just say, Jimmy, you recruited someone. You said, got to try Belladama Cigars, get in on this, you get 40% off, try their sticks, you get all these sorts of things. He's going to get 40, you're going to get 15% off your next order. So, and there, let's just say you order $75 worth of sticks, 15% off, you receive another card. Let's say, and also, let me preface this with, you receive cash credits as well into your account. So the more things you do, the more cash credits you receive. So you have your own wallet, you have your own portal that will show you where you're at. So I don't want to give too much away because, you know, we just haven't gotten there as far as telling people, but let's just say you introduced 10 people to Belladama Cigars. Was it 10, William? I think 10.
Yeah.
So 10 people. So Jimmy, let's just say you say 10 people are going to get 40% off, and each and every time you're going to get 15% off your order. Then at that point, you will receive $10 credit in your wallet, and you're going to get a Belladama player's t-shirt. It's cool as all get out. No, on the back it says, I'm a player. Okay, it's fabulous.
Mm-hmm.
Wait till you see it. So we're going to give that to you. And for nothing, just for that. And on top of it, we're going to load your wallet. You can hold your wallet as long as you want. You can accumulate it to whatever you want. Doesn't matter. This is no limit poker.
But that wallet's only for making purchases on Belladamas.
Correct. Yes, because you're doing that,
so
right?
It's
so
the Belladama dollars.
Yes. And then every time you hashtag Belladama, let's say you just do place one order. Every time you hashtag Dama Cigars, with a photograph, whatever, you will receive an entry into a monthly drawing. And we've got some great stuff coming. I mean,
So
I'm so
every
excited
time
to
you
incentivize.
hashtag
Mhm.
and post a picture of a Bella Dama cigar, you get an entry in the monthly. So if you hashtag
Absolutely.
it thousands of times in the month, you got a
Hmm.
thousand
Yeah,
entries.
yeah.
So it's a big
And
thing, right?
it, yeah, and when I tell you, that's not that's not how I roll. Just simply, okay, that's going to be it. Because sometimes I like to give away the farm. I'm not going to, but there's going to be a lot. Stop, William. There's gonna, he's nodding. There's going to be a lot of other really great incentives. When I tell you, we're going to do first, and we're going to do all sorts of things. I'm so excited about this program.
Um, Couple of things from the audience real quick here. Um, uh, Bruce Stark asks, are you going to PCA?
You can't make it. Not this quick,
Okay.
unfortunately.
That's a smart
Thanks,
move on
Brucey.
your
Can't do it.
part. You got to get some
Yeah.
groundwork done
Yes.
first. So very,
Correct.
very good.
Thank you, Jim.
Anthony James says, very nice presentation.
Thank you so much. Oh,
Okay.
thank you.
Let's see if anybody else chimed in. Chris Colter, he's down in Texas. He says, Chantel, it's easy to see your enthusiasm and passion for the leaf. I'll be ordering some soon. He's one of my great followers.
Oh,
So,
thank you so much. Thank you.
and he says it's 83 degrees in Central Texas.
It's about 97 here, sir.
And humidity.
Hairs up.
Well, it's more
Yeah.
than that, right? We got all the humidity going. So yeah, so and actually, so let me just do one other thing here, and then we'll come back and continue our conversation. So for those that are watching that don't know, and those that do know, I have to give this one shout out. I'm not going to be a PCA this year. I'm not going to be a PCA this year because I'm going to be climbing this mountain.
Yay.
So this time next week, I will be on Japanese soil.
Look at that.
I'll be hanging in Tokyo, and then on Thursday and Friday of that week, my son, his girlfriend, and I will be climbing to the top of this mountain, Mount Fuji, 13,000 feet. But why are we doing this? I'll give you the abridged version. Because I promised my son I would do it, who got his neurobiological research doctorate in studying the autism spectrum. And we said, let's go raise some money for autism.
How awesome is that?
So yes, it is. It is quite awesome. He'll be his 35th birthday is on Wednesday, and we're leaving on Saturday. We are celebrating big time. Anybody that wants to do a donation, none of this money comes to me. I'll show you how this works. There's a link up here in this article on StogiePress.com, Climb for Autism, or you can just scan that QR code. So anybody that's done it, go scan the QR code. Have fun with that. And then this takes you to Autism Speaks. This is our campaign, Mount Fuji Climb for Autism. Tells you exactly what's going on, similar to the other article. And you can see we now have raised $88.91. It's gone up already today.
Yes.
We are now about $1,100 away from $10,000 raised since I started this back at TPE. $10,000. Let's go, folks. We can make this happen. Okay. Everybody's 1 degree separated from somebody on the spectrum. And as I mentioned earlier in the show, if you weren't watching, we have a big raffle coming up on all of this. We have July 4th, we're doing our next raffle. So anybody that donates gets on the raffle. Okay. And if you won before, you can win again. So don't worry about it. If you won the last prize, if the wheel stops in your name, you win again. And we're having a grand prize drawing when we come back, which is good. The grand prize is going to be, there's going to be a stand-up acid ashtray from Drew Estate.
Very cool.
Very cool ashtray. And there's going to be a 100 count Henry Clay humidor filled with 100 cigars.
Wow,
right?
that's
So
amazing.
those are two
Well,
big grand prizes. In addition to that, and oh, by the way, that humidor is coming from Johnny Smokes Uncut. Okay. One of my great friends, John Rima, who his team has raised 2,500 plus of what this is. And he's getting his flag planted on the top of Mount Fuji. Okay. I'm wearing this hat because the Meat Lovers Club donated $1,000 to this charity. But we'll be giving away on Tuesday, on July 4th. We've got the next round. So we've got a 10 count of the Kardashian from Rockefeller Cigars, The Art of Magic. Okay. That's a 10 count of those. I think these are the Cameroons, if I'm not mistaken. I believe so. Yes, those are the Cameroons. I've got a bunch of these DAV sampler packs, and these sampler packs will come with a DAV hat. Kind of weathered looking, very nice. That's brand new hat. And then we have, and who doesn't want, of course, we all love our friends at Drew Estate.
Oh, that's fabulous.
This is the paint can lighter. Okay. So this is the cigar lighter. And this cool, very badass backpack that I know some of you are dying to have, which I have an extra one of and never opened. So you're all going to get that. And that's in one prize. And what else? Oh, and John Rima is giving away a boatload of his own cigars in his own raffle based on these names. So get out there and finish it. We're going to keep rolling with this. Tomorrow, I walk 14 miles in my last hike, and I'll end up at Executive Cigar Shop tomorrow around 1 o'clock in the afternoon to finalize the celebration and get ready to make the last final contributions anybody wants to make. You can still contribute all through the time we do the climb if you want. But when we come back, we'll be closing it out as we announce the big grand prize winners, and there'll be a whole video and article, and everybody will be shouted out on that. And I truly thank everybody for doing what they've done. And that's why I'm not going to be a PCA.
You know what? Yes, that's fabulous. That's a great reason. And please add Bella Dama in, please. I'd love to donate 2 sample packs for your raffle. So just please let me know whoever wins, and we're in.
I will do that. You heard it here.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Yes. Yes.
And you're going to love these sample packs, everybody.
You just made such a really interesting comment, and I'm just going to touch on it like for a tiny. There are a lot of people I know that are on the spectrum, that are high functioning, but there's a lot. And a lot of people want to put, they just categorize, they're ADHD or whatever, with all these sorts of things, right? No, they're just special. Yeah. And they're just special. I relate to this very much.
I can tell you the stories. I have people come and see me at events when I do this, and they just sit down with me and they give me their personal experiences. And, it's become more than something I thought it would be. I was just trying to raise some money, do something cool that I think is, helpful to a community, something my son was doing a lot of research in. And it turned into more, because it turned into people coming to me and telling me their stories, telling me about that young man they hired in a factory that does this, and he does it perfectly every day. And they had to move him on a station one day because somebody else was out, and he got all flustered.
Couldn't do it.
He goes, how long? I do this. Right. Yeah. But maybe, but then he did that for a little bit. Okay.
And he made it.
And he made it, but then he moved him back to his normal assembly station, and he was perfect doing everything he's doing, because that's what he does.
When I tell you have my full support in anything you'd like to include Bella Dama Cigars in, I mean this, because this does actually have a very close place in my heart. So Congratulations. Good for you.
So let's come back to Chantel again. So this Players thing is cool. All right. So people can now
Yes.
get these cards. They can use these cards to put together poker hands that
Mhm.
Correct.
the poker hands get them what?
Williams speaking.
The poker hands, depending on what the hand is, will get you dollars off your next order.
So what if I hit a royal flush? What do I get?
Oh, you got next level cash credits in your account.
That's right. Right.
Yeah. You can go ahead and say it. Yes,
Okay.
you can say it.
All right. So if you have a royal flush, you're going to get $50 off your next order.
Okay. Okay.
If you get if you get two pairs worth $10.
Okay.
Three of a kind is 15, 4, 20. A straight is going to be 25.
Wait, a
A straight-
straight's paying you more than 4 of a kind?
Oh, was that what we have down there?
That's what
Sorry,
we have
yeah.
down there.
Okay,
We can.
yeah, and I know poker next level. You know what? Jimmy, when I tell you, ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom,
I'll take it
ba-boom.
straight any day of the week then.
There
I
you go.
know, right? I know. So you know what? William's gonna make note of that.
Revision number 7 coming right up.
Yes, thank you. 7.
So you got
Come on
straights,
now.
flushes, you got straight flushes,
Yes.
Full
and royal
houses.
flushes, full houses.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah. So we're basically giving you money. Your cash credit. We're giving you money. It's like playing a slot machine, right? You cash out and you have credits, or actually you don't even cash out. You're playing I love poker slots. So you're playing a poker slot. You know, you got like 40 credits or, you know, whatever it is. Those equal dollars. So, and again, the more you spread the love, the more you get. And again, there's going to be so much amazing stuff coming.
So as I'm in this and I'm playing in this players club game, okay, sideline thing. So is there somebody delivering drinks to me too while I'm doing this?
Do you know what?
Does the Uber guy show up with a bottle of whiskey and say, "Here, this is from the players
Guess
club"?
what? You poor bastard. I'm gonna show up at your house one day in Melbourne, okay? You and your wife are gonna have to host.
You just let me
serve
know.
everything.
You let me know because my wife will cook you an amazing meal.
Ah.
All cigar people are always invited to my house. You got to give me some advance notice that you're coming over.
Yes.
My wife will make sure that I have the house clean because that's my job then. And you tell us what you like to eat, and she cook anything. And she
William's
does
gonna come.
amazing.
What at the end? We already talked about it, so I think he's probably coming. You know, when we get rid of this 100-degree heat and humidity. So we'll definitely do the journey for sure.
December would be awesome time.
What were you thinking, William? I can't remember. Was it September, November? I can't remember.
Well, at this point in time, by the time I get out of the mental institution, after the doctor clears me and does not render me, when I'm mentally competent, then, no, I'm looking at something fallish.
Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention one other thing, and thank you, Lou Piscatelli. Thank you for reminding me because I go through this in my head. I don't have a script when I do any of these shows. So, so this bad boy right here. So these things you see here and over here, these two pitches, these are all done with cigar band art. All the color, everything in that cigar bands. Okay. And my friend Lou Piscatelli makes these and then he turns them into prints. So that one over there is me, obviously. So that's different. But this one here, he's got like a whole line of these now that he's made. And he turns them into prints. And I think he sells the prints for like $90.
So cool.
So he's giving another one of these away too on July 4th. So whoever wins when their name comes up for that prize, you get in touch with Lou and you pick one of these and he'll send it to you.
Way to go, Lou. And you know what? You're going to post it on your page, Jimmy. So I will certainly share it and probably buy something. I have issues. No, I'm just kidding. I love Unique, right? Unique, and you support your cigar family for certain.
This is what we do. 90% of that money, by the way, came from the cigar community.
There you go.
90%, or even
See,
more than that now. It's
we're so
basically,
blessed.
we
Yeah.
take care of
We're,
each other and we take care of
yeah.
others. And that is
Yeah.
what's most important
Mhm.
in this
Yes.
battle that we're having for the fight of our lives to allow us the freedom to do what we like. The other side needs to be aware of what we do besides sit around and smoke cigars.
No, we do so much, Jimmy. I've seen it. That this is also what helped me through all sorts of things, like going through every hit I took along this journey. I mean, it is, what do you call it? Is it a brethren? I mean, it is next level. I love people I have never physically met, but we've had so much interaction. We're vested in each other's families, legitimately. I'm going to a wedding in December. Joe from Evil Empire Society, Nicole. I mean, it's just, you know what I'm saying? And I can't wait to squeeze them, So we are really a great community. I'm so blessed to be here.
Now, what was it like
Yeah.
growing up, Chantel?
Very different. So get this. So I'm from a very small town in Maine. Okay. And my parents divorced when I was young. That doesn't happen. My father's Jewish, my mother's Catholic. My mother enrolled in a Catholic school. She's trying to do the right thing. I understand it. I don't like it. I understand it. So my father rolls out. He was in clubs, like I said, poker stuff in our basement. That doesn't happen. And so my father rolls out. He goes to Vegas to be a big shot. And I never fit in, ever. My life was very different than anybody else's. And I had a talk with my mom before she passed away about it. And I wouldn't change one single thing. I learned so much. I have such a great moral compass over here, right? Work ethic. My mom, even though I was chastised for going to a Catholic school, everybody knew I had Jew in me, right? First parents that are divorced.
Yeah, but
in
do you
this
have the
small
ruler
community.
marks on your hands, on your knuckles?
Oh, no, I ran. Oh no, she tried to slap my ass. She tried to actually scare someone else, slap my desk. I grabbed my key out of my thing and I ran. Like I ran, like, you know what I mean? Like I was like, oh hell no. It was that sort of thing, yes. And you also have to understand, my father's like a heathen. He's a gambler. Okay, we're talking excess, right? They have a vow of poverty. I'm not knocking anybody's decision, but and my mom was in fashion. Please, I have 2 strikes. I'm already out. Okay. So my upbringing was very different. And then my father going to Vegas. So I spent a lot of time there. First World Series of Poker, Bible, Binion's Horseshoe, 11 years old, standing by my dad at World Series Poker. It was smaller then, right? It's not like the way it
Oh
is now.
yeah, yeah, but it was
No,
still.
guess what? So he's on babysitting patrol. Let's just call it that. Talks to the maitre d' at the restaurant. Chantel's over there, and the maitre d' is babysitting me to make sure, I have whatever I ate steak. Hey, I'll never forget it. I
You know all
eat
the
steak, whatever.
Shirley Temples you want.
Yeah, correct. That's exactly it. That is the fact. I know it seems so bizarre, but and I think, there were certainly times of turmoil where I was tormented because people didn't understand that. But I wouldn't change one single fucking thing other than, of course, you want your parents to be together and love each other. But other than that, no, not for 1 second. I feel very blessed.
Have you ever anybody ever tell you look a little bit like Sandra Bullock?
Oh my God. I get that a lot, for certain. Yep. Is that weird? And then I get also
No, that's
Selena
not weird.
Gomez. Well, wait till when I bellow in a restaurant, you're gonna Julia Roberts all over me.
You got my illness. I never got the
I
gene for singing.
right? I'm
Yeah.
just gonna laugh. I sometimes laugh in the most not inappropriate. I'm not gonna. Well, I might laugh. I don't know, in a place of worship, but chances are not. But in a restaurant, when it's quiet or whatever, I'm having fun. I'm going to laugh.
There's nothing wrong
That
with that.
there isn't anything wrong with that.
That's right.
You know what? We have one life, you guys, and that's why I don't look back. Even in my upbringing, instead, I try to like take nuggets out of it. How does it serve me? How does it make me who I am? And I believe that both of my parents, right, wrong, indifferent, whatever, really created something that I could take with me, unbeknownst to even them at the time, to where we are today, right? So I'm very grateful. Thank you for asking.
No, it's a to see people coming up through different levels in society, generation after generation, is kind of the real American dream. To
It
me,
is.
the American dream is not coming here and making $1 billion on day one. That's not the
Mhm.
American dream. The American dream is
No,
hardworking and making sure that your children have it better than you have, and so on and so forth. I
those
was like,
are such facts.
I was the first one and the only one in my immediate family that went to college, and I had to pay for
Mhm.
most of that myself to do that. Um, both my children went to college, okay,
Mhm.
and one's a lawyer and one's a PhD in neurobiological sciences.
Oh
And
my God! Cheers!
you know,
Cheers!
and they've got their lives so perfectly set up going forward right
Mhm.
now that in where I was back then, you know, I was an engineer, so I did well, right? But at the same time, sometimes I look backwards in time and be like, well, gee, man, my father was a hardworking printer. He ran a collator in a print shop in Brooklyn, New York, his whole life. He took a stack of
Mhm.
paper from here, put it on a
Mhm.
pedestal, pushed a button,
Mhm.
took the books off, put them on a trolley, put the paper in, pushed the button, took the books. Did that for 30 years of his life. He raised a family, 3 boys, his wife, married their whole lives, did everything with the kids, little league manager, all of that, worked overtime on Saturdays and Sundays sometimes, owned his own house, paid it off, okay, and was a very simple man. Today, I I see that's hard to make
Yeah,
that
it is.
happen. And
It really
but they
is.
did that. They pushed hard
Mhm.
to make it. I saw the
Yes.
sacrifices they made. He
Mhm.
didn't own a brand new
Yep.
car all the time. He had never had a
Mhm.
brand new car, right? He always had a used car, right? But he got him to where he had to go. There was a
Absolutely.
practicality involved in how he looked at. And my mother managed all the money. He got an
I love
allowance.
that too. Yeah, that no, I mean facts, right? She was probably maybe the more practical one, whatever.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, that's it. That's something. That's huge, ginormous. And you're right. We just people have lost a lot of things, unfortunately. I believe in family and I believe in loyalty. I certainly believe in hard work. It's very hard to make it, um, even if you work hard, right? And you have loyalty and all those things, but I'm not giving up. Like, I know I
No.
can still do it with the right, even though I want to go, like, William and I had a conversation earlier. Someone joined the Belladama's Players Club and did not put in the discount code. I don't know if they didn't know, whatever. By the grace of God, I happened to see it because he would not have been registered as a player. I'm going to reach out to him. I don't know who he is. I haven't researched or whatever. I'm probably on social media. And William and I discussed it. I go, well, we have to give him a credit. And William was like, absolutely. I go, that's why we're the best teammates, right? Because that's what
Good.
you do. Do the right thing.
Always. Always
Yeah,
do the right
always,
thing. It always comes back
always,
around.
always.
Everybody's,
Hmm.
my great uncle always told me, do whatever you want to do in moderation,
Hmm.
but whatever you do, take your own path, but just don't hurt
Yeah.
anybody. mentally or
Absolutely.
physically.
Mhm.
Just
Yes, I
just
agree.
be kind wherever you can be kind. If you can't, walk
Yeah.
away.
Thank you. Even if the shit storm comes about you from someone or something or whatever, you have to take the high road. You don't have to. That's my choice.
Right.
I just want to live my life and be happy, right? And do the right thing and enjoy life.
So you have a daughter, I understand.
I do.
Just one child?
Actually, I have two daughters.
Oh,
So
two daughters.
yeah, I do. I have one that lives in Maine, and then Olivia, who's here in Gainesville, Florida, going to college. And you mentioned something about biomedical research.
Right.
Olivia is getting her BAS, and she's going to be doing industrial biomedical research.
So where's she doing that?
She's in Santa Fe College in Gainesville.
Okay.
So she kind of went in because it's very hard to get into UF, even if you're,
Oh yeah.
straight A. So she went in the side door, received her associates in animal sciences, got accepted to UF, and you know what? And she was ultimate goal was vet med, and she said, you know, like I don't know if I want to do that, and I was a little butthurt on it a little bit because UF is a big deal. But then, we had the conversations and it's not my life, it's her life. And she's made the right decision. She wanted to stay on this campus. She likes the staff. She likes the chem lab people, which is primarily where she's going to be at all times.
So
And
she's
yes,
finishing her bachelor's there.
yes, of
Okay.
science. 2 more
So
years and she'll be ready to roll.
so when she finishes that, she wants to go on to get a doctorate.
No, please don't say that. Okay, listen, Jim. Okay, enough is enough, Tal. Okay.
No, I was going to
No,
give you. I'm going
no.
to give you an in on that.
Yeah, tell me it's
Okay.
free.
It's better than free.
Oh, Jesus.
So when my son went, and he told me, he says, "Dad, I'm paying for his undergraduate. He went to the University of Miami." He says, but you're not going to have to pay for my graduate work. It's all going to be paid for. And I said, I don't pay for graduate work anyway, so that's up to you. But he did. He kept his promise. He got accepted to Vanderbilt University. Okay,
Mhm.
Vanderbilt University has a special program. Okay, they admit 100 students a year. Okay, in their biomed kind of world that they have. It's a full up doctoral program. My son spent 6 years. Some people spend 5. Okay, but he spent 6 years doing this. Tuition's paid for. Everything's paid for. You get a stipend, okay, to
So I was
live
going to
on.
ask you about the
You get
stipend.
a
Yep.
stipend to live on. Basically, it cost him nothing. Okay, live frugally. Don't get me wrong. Okay,
Well,
you're not
yeah,
living
excuse
high in
me.
a hog, but you're living
Of
in a
course not.
laboratory anyway, right? I mean, his whole life
Mm-mm.
he slept in
Mhm.
laboratories,
Mm.
right? But his whole
Mhm.
6 years was paid for. It ended up with a doctorate in neurobiological research. It had 6 published papers. So
First
research
of all,
that on the side,
fabulous. Yes,
okay,
please. Thank
and
you.
have her
Oh,
excel at what she does at UF.
she is. You know what's so cool is that my daughter, like, chemistry was her worst subject. Worst subject. Like, horrifying. Do you know what?
She
She
just
took it as a challenge instead, and now she gets off on the challenge. Like, I'm so stoked for her. I can't even take it.
And she probably
She's like,
has some really good professors that actually teach it correctly. So now the light bulb, once the light bulb goes on a science, you're like going, oh, that ain't so
"Mm,
hard.
yeah, no, you're right. She has these vested people. She had one that she failed out. This teacher, and I always say, why would a teacher, especially professor, ever not strive to make sure that their student body passes, right? No, like, especially you're paying them. But anyway, at the end of the day, no, she's found some great mentors. So yeah, very cool
And
stuff.
how do your daughters feel about Belladama? Are they supportive
Um,
of this adventure,
yes.
this new
Oh,
journey?
100% on board. Yes, 100%. Yes,
Good, good.
yes,
So they introduce
100%.
you to their friends and say, this is Mom, the cigar lady.
Actually, Olivia introduces me to the professor. And
She's a
I know,
smart girl.
we're Bible, and I go, I just spit almost. I go, Olivia, like I like almost cower a little, like because it's not like I'm a woman in this industry, right?
Doesn't
These
matter. It's all the
professors
same
have
now.
thought it's so cool. You know what I mean? They were like, they just thought it was so cool that I'm entrepreneurial, right? And that I'm paving my way in a male-dominated industry on top of it. So yeah. So now please, I used to get patches, stickers, I get ice and sticks, I get clutch and smoke. That no, she does. She puts them on her laptop. She wants them first. I don't even get them. Swear to God. Yeah, so she's very proud.
Good, good. That's
Yeah,
fantastic.
great kid.
All right, so we've gone well beyond our hour and plus. I'm down to the nub, which is what we call this show.
Yes.
Um, let me pass it off to you. Do you have any last words, closing comments? I'll start with Bill, and then we'll go to
Yes,
Chantel.
please.
Well, all I got to say to finish up is, Jimmy, thanks for having us on tonight. Thanks for everyone out there. I do want to answer one question. You had a comment on Facebook from Bruce Stark.
Mm-hmm.
Bruce, we're not in the BCA yet, but that is in the works. So yes, you will be seeing us as part of the BCA here down the road. But we just like to let everybody out there know, give us a try. Don't take our word for it. Talk to Jimmy. Jimmy, we asked Jimmy, tell us the truth. We're not pulling any punches here. If you think it's worthwhile, it's worthwhile. If not, then we have a little bit of work to do. But we feel, that we have a good product. But we're asking, give us a try. If you want to go through the excitement of a high stake poker game, become a player. There's a whole lot more coming down the pike for the Players Club. There's going to be a whole lot more coming down the pike for Bella Dama, not only in Players Club, but in regular light merchandise.
Yes.
I'm in it for I'm in it to win it. I'm in it for the whole thing. And, I'm holding my cards until I'm ready to cash out when that pot gets really heavy. So, I believe in this. I believe in Chantel.
Thank you.
And it's been like a work marriage. I know when to keep my mouth
Yeah.
shut. I know when to shake my head. Yes, yes, yes. And I know when to turn. And there's been days where I've sent her an email or a text message or called her and said, "Hey, I was thinking about this," and she's like, "You know what? I was thinking about the same exact thing." So I think we're hooked. We're linked up. We're in sync. And I told her today, we had a conversation. We were texting back and forth, and I said, it's kind of scary that we're on the same wavelength and we're reading out of the same chapter. We're at the same paragraph. We're at the same sentence. And it's very scary. And but yeah, what started out as an idea to a cigar company as a consumer, like I said, she hooked that hook was hooked, and she's bringing me on the boat. And so it's only been 6-7 weeks now, but it's been, I tell you, it's been a whirlwind.
Oof.
It's been an adventure, and I'm not ready to get off the ride yet.
All right, so Bruce Stark says he's in. He just signed up.
Yes, Bruce was actually
Oh.
Bruce was our first sign up, and Bruce is going to get something very special for sure. I'll make sure of that. He was our first one. Boom, boom, while we're on last night. So
Good.
thank you so much, Bruce. We appreciate you.
Now, how about you, Chantel? What is your closing words?
First of all, thank you, Jimmy.
Welcome.
Like so much. I know you and I are going to be lifelong friends, no question. Thanks for having us on. I'm so grateful to have William on board. Like he said, we both are very cohesive together. If you join the Belladama's Player Club, we just have, I don't want to say just because it's great, but we have this one initial format. I'm a giver. So I want to anybody that supports Bella Dama Cigars, I want to make sure that they are treated accordingly. And so I will definitely make sure that people are incentivized, that they receive fabulous gifts, all those sorts of things. Because I, like Bill said, I mean, I believe in my product, I believe in my brand. But if anybody's going to go out there, and you know, you have it every day. You have someone who buys I've said this a bajillion times, I'll use a different brand. Someone who buys Tommy Bahama shirt. Okay. You've got the fish there, all that, whatever, the thing, swordfish, whatever it is. So you're paying $80 for a shirt and you're advertising for them, right? So if you're advertising for me, first of all, you're getting an amazing discount, right? And I'm going to incentivize you to advertise. You're not doing it for nothing. Okay. So I want to give back to you. I appreciate anybody who stands by and beside our brand. And there's a lot to look forward to. I'm very excited. There's event stuff that we're going to load up. So we've just begun. And Jimmy, I really genuinely thank you so much for having us on. Tremendously.
It's been my pleasure. You have been a fabulous guest. When I heard you speak yesterday, I said, this could be a fun show because you are an outgoing personality. It's fantastic to be able to have a conversation with you. It didn't even feel like an interview. It just kind of goes and flows. Right. We just go with the flow wherever it goes. That's what I normally do, but you make it even easier. So no show next week.
Don't forget my 2 sample packs. So put that in your drawing.
No, that'll be, yep, absolutely.
All right.
No show next week, folks. I'll be next 2 weeks. I'll be climbing a mountain, and then I get there I'm leaving on a Saturday. I get there on a Sunday, and I'm coming home on a Sunday. So that Saturday is the last day in Tokyo. I might throw something out there, just say hi. You might see me pop up, during your noon hour because it'll be midnight there or something, but when we come back, we're going to have some more shows rolling in. I want to thank the sponsors. Without them, the show is always a little harder to do. Thank you all the viewers that are watching this now and in the future. Don't forget, this will be up on the YouTube channel in another week. Well, maybe 2 weeks, because I'll be locked over in Japan. Maybe I get it up before I leave. So you can always go to the archives over on YouTube to see it later. And let's continue to have these conversations. And best of luck to you and Bill.
Thanks, Jimmy.
What you've got here. I'm looking forward to go through these cigars. This one down to the nub. Final analysis. I'm going to say a very nice cigar. Had levels of fruit and some cream, some spice. There was a bit of almost a nuance of chocolate. It got real peppery at the end of it. Okay. So it kind of woke me up a little bit at the end. And the one that's, I'm not going to say totally negative, but there was a bit of tannic, little excess tannic in spots on it. Okay.
Thank you I love the
but other than that, I thought the burn was spectacular as it went down. It carried a nice long ash, solid. So very nice cigar. I do look forward to the other ones. I'll get these on the review cycle, and you'll see some numbers coming your way.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Thank you, sir.
Keep us posted on your trip. Can't wait to see all the stuff.
See it all.
And let me know where you need me to send the sample pack.
I will let you know as soon as we draw it on Tuesday.
Perfect.
All right.
Happy 4th of July, everybody.
Jimmy.
So thank you, everybody, for joining us.
Good night, Tom.
That is our show tonight.